everybody. How are you all? I'm sure everybody is doing good. I'm Pallavi here again, and I'm also doing good, my dear students, pretty good because there is a reason for that. You know what? This is my 10th video. This is my 10th upload on YouTube. I'm very happy and a million thanks to you to support me, to motivate me, and in fact you've made me walk through this journey. I know there were little teeny mini hurdles. Of course, everybody will have to face certain obstructions, certain delay, because we all want perfection in whatever we do. Yes, so here I am with the next video with a little difference, my dear students. You might have checked my introduction. Hope you liked it. You will also see a different end to the video, and I'm sure you would love it as well. Okay, so again, I want to promise something. I am going to live up to your expectations. I'm going to do better and better from now on. I am going to make your journey of your first PU a real cakewalk, because my explanation will make that happen for you. Alright, so here we go. And again, thanks a lot, my dear students. And here we start. Alright, so dear students, what's the next chapter in articulation? If you know, the previous video was on subject-verb agreement. Now we are doing word order. That is your chapter 5 under unit A. Alright, we have finished couple of chapters in reflections already. So after this and the next upload of mine, we shall start with reflections again. Okay, now what is word order? As the name suggests, the complete structure of a sentence which is grammatically correct. Order of words, or placing the words in the correct order to make a complete sentence, grammatically correct sentence, is your word order. And the technique to write the sentence in the proper order is in this chapter. Okay, little more detailed one. But the explanation is little more detailed here. We shall do this in a very normal pace, because little confusing probably sometimes this could be. So not to worry, we shall start with the exercises, and before that I'll explain the definitions of certain things. Alright, let's start. So dear students, let's do some elementary stuff. Okay, what is a sentence? A group of words arranged in such a way so as to make complete sense is called a sentence. Yes or no? A group of words arranged in such a way. What way? We'll let you know now. For example, life is beautiful. January is the coldest month of the year. I like to teach. We are supposed to excel in our academics. N number of different forms of sentence, or different groups of words make sentence. Correct? And the catch is, the arrangement should make complete sense. That's where we call that sentence as a meaningful sentence. Yes or no? So basically, we are in this chapter, throughout the chapter, we are going to talk about different kinds of sentences, or rather different types of sentences, and the unscrambling of these things is the core of the chapter. Okay, the whole chapter and the exercises in this chapter talks about unscrambling these sentences. Okay, different forms of sentence. We shall go one by one. Alright. Kinds of sentences. My dear students, Just think about it. Millions of years ago, how do you think people used to convey something, communicate to their peers, to their parents, or to their neighbors, to other set of people? How do you think they used to communicate? They used to either do the sign language, correct? Or how do they used to communicate with others? Probably by gestures, correct? So these were few modes of communication during those eras. But human beings have evolved. We have got brains to think. We have made our lives easy by creating certain languages. There are thousands of languages, and every language has certain pattern. Rather, the pattern which will make the lives of the people easy, because if you do not have a set pattern, your words will be messed up. Total confusion will arise, right? If you want to say something, the person would understand it in another way if it is not communicated with the proper sentence structure, correct? Say, for example, if I ask you a question, what are you doing? If you do not understand it, your answer would be something else. So sentences are made to either ask questions, either to reply for those questions, correct? To command something, to wish for something, to request something, correct? Also to say, for example, what a wonderful picture is this! Exclamation, wishes, right? Desires, expressions. How on earth could you do this? Could you make people understand without having a formation, without having the sentences in place? What else could you have done to make your people around understand you? That's how the kinds of sentences evolved, correct? There are basically 4 kinds of sentences. First kind or first type of sentence is declarative sentence. Declarative sentences could be either affirmative or negative. Could be either affirmative or negative. What is affirmative? Affirmation. Positive. Yes, definitely yes. Positive. What is negative? No. That is negative. So if you are supposed to say something, it could be either an affirmative sentence or a negative sentence, an assertive sentence or a negative sentence, right? Second type of sentence formation is interrogative sentences. What is interrogative? What do you mean by interrogative? Interrogation. The police interrogate. Basically, interrogate means asking questions, right? So a sentence with a question mark obviously will make a question, right? But please remember, very important, the sentence structure will change, guys. I'll tell you about this in the future narration. Next, third type of sentences, imperative sentences, will be your order, your command, your advice, your request. Say, for example, get out, you better come at proper time. Command, finish it fast, you need to go to the say, for example, your mother will say, finish your breakfast fast, you need to go to the market. Advice, you're not supposed to do this, please be good to your parents, correct? Request, can you please lend your book for me for some time because I need to finish my homework. Can I please take your car? It's really urgent, I need to go somewhere. Request. Exclamatory sentences, expressions, desires. I wish to become the president one day. I wish to be one of the richest persons in the world. So you're using exclamation, you emote with expressions, your sadness, your happiness, your shock, all these come under exclamatory sentences. Understood, my dear students? So all these sentences should be in proper form to make it effective, again to be grammatically correct. Alright, hope you have got it, whatever I've told you all this while. Structure of the sentence, students. Remember subject verb agreement, which we had done in the previous video. Very important to make your sentence meaningful. So as you all know, a sentence is divided into three: subject, verb, object. Correct? Subject, verb, predicate or object. Singular subject corresponds to singular verb, plural subject corresponds to plural verb. The same thing which we need to recollect, try to remember whatever I taught you in the previous video. Alright, so structure of the sentence talks about, again I'm telling you, again I'm reiterating you, to have proper subject with the proper verb with the rest of the sentence. That is your subject verb agreement. I don't want to dig into this again and again because we have already done this. We shall go further. Okay. By the way, students, are you aware as to how many marks is allotted for this question on the word order? After all, 1 mark. Right. You say so? After all, 1 mark. Please remember, 1 mark is really important. I'll tell you why. See, there are 3 categories of students here. One category of students is like they're below average. Okay, they're supposed to just pass in the exam, and if they are at that brink, they may lose it or they may pass as well. So to get that passing marks, they need this 1 mark. If they had neglected or if they had got this question wrong in their exam, they would have lost 1 mark. So they have lost the so-called pass thing here. Second set of students who are above average, of course they have not reached the 60% or 60 marks of 100. They are on that 59 brink. So they need to get that 1 mark to make their marks 60, correct? So if they have not attempted this, or if they had neglected this, it's okay, it's just for 1 mark. If at all they had this attitude carried in during their exam, what do you think would have happened? They would have lost this 1 mark, so they wouldn't have got that 60 out of 100. Third category is very important because those students aim to get rank in the board exams, right? So what if they miss the rank by just this 1 mark? Yes, agree? So please do not neglect even this question, my dear students, in your paper. And the best part is, the question will be asked from the textbook itself. We are not taking anything, we are not taking the question from nowhere. We are going to choose this question, this jumbled segment thing, just for 1 mark from the textbook itself. Alright, and by the way, why am I stressing the subject verb agreement again and again and again? Check out your textbook, page number 17. Check the mains. Every main talks about unscrambling the sentences, unscrambling the affirmative sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences, right? The whole chapter talks about unscrambling the jumbled stuff. That's the reason, very important to know the sentence structure. Alright, so over here I am just giving you a bird's eye view as to how you're supposed to frame an affirmative sentence or a negative sentence or an interrogative sentence, imperative and an exclamatory sentence. So just check the first sentence, affirmatives, and if you just remember this, affirmative sentence and negative sentence comes under, these two come under the bracket of declarative sentence. Alright, so affirmative with a positive. Yes. So this cat catches at least one mice every day. This cat, singular. So singular subject, singular verb. Negative sentence, you know, any sentence for that matter which has a no, not, never, neither. These are your sentences with negative tinge. So negative sentence, for example, you have not submitted your assignment. You have not or haven't submitted your assignment. Interrogative sentences, how many days are there in a week? Right? So with the question mark, very important. Even if your sentence structure is correct, if you don't have a question mark at the end, it's wrong. Imperative, may God bless you. Exclamatory sentence, she's such a wonderful writer. The last two, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentence, we do not have jumble segments in the textbook. Alright, the textbook talks about the first three sentence formation and jumbled sentences of these structures. Alright, so let's go further. Okay, dear students, let's do some practice. Okay, the first main talks about arrangement of the or rearranging the words to make affirmative sentences. Yeah, remember this, I have not taken the statements which are there in your textbook. These are the statements which I have picked from the textbook, because from the reflections, because this will actually help you out in knowing the reassembling or unscrambling the words in a better manner. Of course, I have given the answers of all these exercises in the description below. Okay, you can click the description and get the answers of the textbook exercises. Alright, so let's begin. First main, arrange the words to make affirmative sentences. Very important to know the format, my dear students. Format, to know how to place the noun, verb and the rest of the sentence. Okay, in an affirmative sentence, you need to have the noun or a pronoun first, followed by the verb. If there is a helping verb, after noun or a pronoun, you need to have a helping verb. After that, the main verb, and of course the rest of the sentence. So the first one, for example, continue / Mr. Elephant / to / shall / hut / occupy / the. How would you unscramble it? Mr. Elephant shall continue to occupy the hut. Okay. Next, in / with / Mr. Rhinoceros / his / charged / horn. So answer is Mr. Rhinoceros charged in with his horn. Remember this, guys, you are not supposed to start a sentence with a preposition. Alright, please do not make this mistake. Do not start the sentence with a preposition. Alright, third one, you / to see / me / he wants. He wants me to see you, or else he wants you to see me. Both are correct. Fourth one, looked at, I, people, the, me, around. Answer is I looked at the people around me. I looked at the people around me. Fifth one, gave, guffaw, loud, owner, the, a. Answer is the owner gave a loud guffaw. Understood? So affirmative sentences should have a full stop at the end, and you're not supposed to start the sentence with the preposition. Alright, got it? Let's go further. The next exercise talks about rearranging the words which are negative. So statements are these statements are negative statements, correct? So arrange the words to make negative sentences. Understand the format. Again, of course, the sentence starts with noun or a pronoun, helping verb. Negative word should be followed after helping verb. Main verb plus rest of the sentence. So noun or a pronoun plus helping verb plus negative word. Negative words are no, not, neither, never, seldom for that matter. These are all your negative words plus main verb and plus rest of the sentence. So the examples: not the truth did he tell you yesterday. Check the unscramble and check it. He, pronoun, did, helping verb, not, the negative word, tell is your main verb, you the truth yesterday is your rest of the sentence. Got it, guys? Second one, to the cinema we want not do tonight to go. We do not want to go to the cinema tonight. We is your pronoun, do is your helping verb, not is your negative word, want is your main verb to go to the cinema tonight. Understood? Underneath on have I nothing. I have nothing on underneath. Fourth one, not do, no, I do, what to. I do not know what to do. Sorry, I do not know what to do. Fifth one, must, you, not, a, miss, chance, single, even. You must not miss even a single chance. Got it, everybody? So understand this. Your negative word should come after your helping verb. Alright, so let's go further. So the third exercise is rearranging the segments to form questions. Alright, my dear students, understand this. Check the format first. Question word plus helping verb plus noun or a pronoun plus main verb plus rest of the sentence with the question mark. Always remember this. Okay, now there are two ways of asking questions. Yes, what are those two ways? One is your question starting with your WH word. Another one is a kind of question where you will have to have an answer with a yes or no. They are called confirmation questions. So WH questions and confirmation questions. If at all you have the question with which is going to start with the WH word. WH words are why, what, which, where, whom, how also in fact, by whom also in fact. So these are your WH words. How will you frame a question with the WH word? Say we'll go with the first exercise. First example, you did why that creeper tie the tree to. Check the answer. Why, your question word. Did is your helping verb. Correct? You is your pronoun. Tie is the main verb. That creeper to the tree. So first a word in the question format is your WH question if it's a WH question statement. Alright, try the third one. Okay, I not have you told keep to from here away. The question form over here is your confirmation question. What will be your answer for the confirmation question? Either it should be a yes or a no. So if you unscramble this, have I not told you to keep away from here? So what will be your answer? Yes, madam, you had told me. No, I never had didn't expect this, so I have come here. Correct. Please understand this. Check out the format. If it is a confirmation question, you need to negate that question word first. The first word which is there in the question form, negate it, remove it. Have, your helping verb. I, your noun or a pronoun, of course here pronoun. Not is a negative word. Told, your verb. You, to keep away from here. Understood? Next, fifth one. Try this fifth one. The going is lake break to? Question mark. How will you reframe it? Is the lake going to break? So start the confirmation question starts with the helping verb is. The lake, noun. Going is your verb. To break is the rest of the statement with the question mark. Always remember this, guys. Little confusing, but with practice you will get it. Alright. So hope you have understood, my dear students. So my dear students, we have come to the last part of the chapter. Okay. If you have noticed, I have not done the previous two exercises because it is pretty much repetitive. Okay, and moreover, from the exam point of view, we are going to ask something of whatever I have taught in the previous narrations. Alright, of course the last exercise is kind of a revision, and so you don't have to worry. I have put in the answers in the description below. You can go and check it out. Now let's do something funny. Okay, it's pretty humorous. So what is it basically? This is there in your textbook in that box. Check it out. Stressing the right word makes all the difference. Yes or no? If you mispronounce a word, it will give a completely different meaning, which may create chaos and confusion and land you up in a very tricky situation. So let's try this out. Okay, first one. Over here, only word is placed in different places in each sentence. Okay, so let's do with the first one. Only he lent me 50 rupees. What do you mean by that? Only he lent me 50 rupees. So only over here means that nobody else gave me 50 rupees. He was such a kind person. He's my best friend, you know. That's the reason only he gave me 50 rupees. Second sentence. He only lent me 50 rupees. What do you mean by that? He only lent me 50 rupees. He didn't do anything else. He didn't give me anything else. He didn't buy me chocolate. He only gave me 50 rupees. Third sentence. He lent me only 50 rupees. He lent me only 50 rupees. What do you mean by that? He didn't give me more money. He gave me just 50 rupees. How mean. Yeah? Fourth sentence. He lent only me 50 rupees. So I am his best friend. He didn't give money to anybody else. He gave me only. So he lent only me 50 rupees. Understood, my dear students? So you need to stress the right word at the right place. Otherwise, the meaning will completely change. You may land up in a lot of confusion. Okay, so please understand this and try not to make mistakes. All right. All right, my dear students, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you liked my narration. Do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified. Okay, and if you have any doubts on the topic, do not hesitate to comment below, and I'll definitely clear the doubts for you. Okay, so again, I want to thank you all for your support and keep supporting me like this. Alright, take care, my dear students. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.